Okay, so today's little task is to get all of the rocker studs pulled from the head, and hopefully, knock on plywood, there will be no issues. I did one already just to kind of, see if it was going to work. So I'm just using the pivots from the old 351 heads that I rebuilt the top end and used different heads on. I put a little bit of grease on the washer here. I want things to spin freely. I don't know if this is necessary or if it helped at all, but I'm going to take a little bit of heat to the boss first. Again, I don't know if that's even doing anything, but I don't want to get my threads. Go down too far, then obviously the nut is going to bite into the actual stud, and I don't want that. I'm going to put the second washer on I have here. It was pretty. I got grade 8, a couple grade 8 nuts, and a couple grade 8 washers. Okay, so second one came out. Hopefully, I'll go on down the line and we'll have no problems. There we go. Yeah, that second washer kept me from. I don't want the nut going down so far that I gouge up the nut and have to use a different one. I'm going to have an extra just in case, but I figured grade 8 would probably be smart, so I'm going to pull these out. I will probably get a taper tap, and then in my drill press I'll set up basically a jig that will have my head on the table of the drill press set up perfectly so that the drill press can start, now not operating the drill press, but just by hand spinning the taper tap to get it to at least start straight, and then I can tap by hand once it's started. At least that's the plan. Some of you might be seeing this and saying, oh my gosh, what the heck is he doing? Well, I'm going to give it a go. I mean, worst case scenario, I got to take it to the machine shop, which is what I would have to do anyway. And again, before any of you are thinking, you're not going to be able to just put studs in without putting guide plates. Yes, I can, because these are early. It's at 1964, which has the slotted, I don't know if you can see that in the old video here, but those are slots, which means those are the push rod guides. You do not need guide plates on this motor, so, or on these heads, I guess I should say. Well, I lost my threads. Got to go get a couple more nuts. Well, got it done. Had to go back into town to get a couple more grade 8 nuts. Probably wasn't greasing them up enough as I got to the last head here. This one stripped the last half-inch or so of the thread off, so I had to go get a couple more nuts. Luckily, I was able to run that down on this last stud here. Went ahead and did those first. Came back to this one and was able to run it out, no issues. All right, so I've been ridge reaming the cylinders here. There's just a little. I mean, it's not a ton, but definitely needs to go. So I had not used this style before, so this one's kind of new. You got to drop it in the cylinder, crank this, which expands your feet here to lock into your cylinder bore, and you want to do that with the cutter, edge of the cutter below the ridge. So, and you want to have your cutter position here to the 2 when you drop it in, and then you'll spread this out. Maybe you'll slide that out until it touches the wall of the cylinder. Lock that down, and then turn this to the 3 position before you start spinning it to cut. But first you got to drop this in and lock this into your, also this has to be threaded all the way down to the bottom so that you can actually clockwise crank that on the way up. Kind I've used before is a Lyle. I think it's called a Lyle. I like them better actually. So snug that down. You don't want to over crank it. Slide this out until it makes contact with the cylinder wall. Actually, I don't want to be too low there, so I'll just slide that out until it makes contact in the number 2 position, and then tighten that down. Looks like this side's missing the washer. Bring that to the 3 position. Spray it down with some WD. A little lube in there. Definitely don't want to do it dry. Oh. Looks like we're getting there. A little more WD for good measure. Whoa. Must have bumped. Yep, I did. All right, we're good. Yeah, that's cutting much better. I had to take the other one back. It was, the cutter was about as dull as a butter knife. I mean, this one's certainly not new, but it's better than the other one was. for sure. Yeah, that's leaving a much better surface there. Hopefully a dingle ball hone and get my pistons ordered, and but I want to wait and dingle ball hone it to see if it's actually good enough before I order pistons, because it may just have to go to the old machine shop and get bored, but I just want to see if I can clean it up well enough with the dingle ball first. But that's the old Ridge reamer. Not a lot to it.